What is up YouTube, and welcome back to another Chaos or Nightmare video, and today we are looking at Chizuru's skill kit and what I actually think about her. I think she looks pretty cool, but there were a lot of things in the English live stream that weren't actually revealed, which I think is pretty unfair. I'm gonna definitely bring it up to the creator Discord because we basically just got the base cards for her, but you're gonna see, I'll actually flash you guys this spoiler. In the Japanese livestream, they did actually reveal a lot more, including the Epiphanies. And shout out to the person in my Discord, Tenji. They actually translated all of this, and I'll be sharing with you guys all the translations when I actually go over each of the 4 cards that have Epiphanies and talk about every single one. I'll have, I guess, subtitles or, text down below so you guys can actually read it easier. But for now, we're going to start off with her base kit because there's some people that didn't watch the live stream because it was at a weird time. But basically, she's a Void Psionic, super obvious, right? Because she was very purple. They also revealed that she was a Psionic, so it was like, okay, she's probably a Void Psionic. And if you went on their website, it did also have her cards with that purple glow, which actually always specifies their attributes. So she is a Void Psionic. The way she plays is very interesting. Basically, you have a debuff that you're applying to enemies. You want characters to use multi-hit cards because the more hits you deal, you'll actually stack up this resource a lot faster. It's very confusing how they explain it, but basically just use multi-hit characters and characters that can generate cards and use a lot of free cards, so like Tressa is very good. And you also will be stacking a bind card while you're doing this, and every time you stack this bind card, it will turn stronger and stronger. So it's very complicated, I know, but essentially you're going to run her with Tressa, or I guess you can run her with Tressa is better to say, and you're going to be just spamming a lot of low cost cards to make her attack card, her bind card, stronger. Very confusing, but that is how she works. She also has a mechanic that you don't have to play into, you can remove the card, but she can't generate AP during the turn. So it's pretty weird. So Mika is kind of out of the question, but we'll have to see how it, plays out. I'll definitely test her just to see how she actually is. But that is going to be the mechanics of her kit. Now, in terms of the cards, you can see here that she has basically multi-hit damage in her attack cards. She has a shield. I'll actually scroll in here, so it's not helping. But yeah, here we go. But you can see Karmic Flames, it's going to be initiation card. You get Cursed Shackles, which is like the stacking debuff, and it adds 1 hit. Tsukiyomi is the skill card at the bottom left. This is basically going to be your buff meter with that Will-O-Wisp. The way that Cursed Shackle and Will-O-Wisp works, it's very hard to decipher. I assume Cursed Shackle is just a debuff, and if you hit the target with that debuff, you're getting an extra hit, which will generate you more Will-O-Wisp. So that's how it works. But Tsukiyomi will actually give you 2 Will-O-Wisp for each hit of the next attack card that you use, so you stack it quicker, like a lot quicker. Bound at Dusk, this is your initiation card. This is like the bread and butter. So you're going to see at the start of the turn you gain Inhibit, which will stop you from getting AP during the turn, but this will decrease the cost of 1 card in your hand by 1, so it's very good. Oni Hunt is going to be your 1 cost attack that will attack 3 times, also increase the damage of your bind, and your bind card is the Shadow of the Moon. You'll see that it basically just does damage and does more with each bind stack, and you even have the plus version, which it can upgrade into, which you'll see will do more damage and even heal you. So these are the base cards. The 4 cards that can get Epiphanies are going to be Karmic Flames, Tsukiyomi, Bound at Dusk, and Oni Hunt. Everything else cannot get the Epiphany, so we're actually going to look at what the Epiphanies are. Now, these can change with the patch tomorrow, you never really know, but as of now, this was revealed in the Japanese stream. This is going to be Karmic Flame, so this is the one that has that damage initiation card, right? Cursed Shackles is adding another hit, and you're going to see that there's 5 options, as per usual. The first one is going to be 150% damage, so instead of that 100% damage, it goes up by 50%. So this is what it'll do. I'll have a picture of the base card on the screen actually here, so you can see and compare. But the first Epiphany is going to be 150% damage, and that's all it buffs. It's still going to have the 1 Cursed Shackle, and Cursed Shackles adds 1 hit. The second one is going to be that it will actually, the Cursed Shackles will have a -1 cost to the next own card used. So I believe this means if you hit the enemy with Cursed Shackle, you will then get -1 cost to the next card that you use. So I guess you get 1 AP essentially in this way, which is pretty cool, and this will work. I think it's every time you attack a target with the Cursed Shackle. Next one, 180% damage. This will do more damage, and then it'll do, the third one's going to do more damage, and then instead of that extra 1 hit, it just does increased damage. Not sure if you'd want to take this, it's kind of like a bursty thing, but that is what it is. The fourth one is a skill card. It turns from an attack card into a skill card. This is also going to have that Cursed Shackle, but instead of doing damage, it gives you a Shadow of the Moon. Shadow of the Moon is going to be that bind card that you have there, so it's going to do extra damage, right? Not extra damage, but it'll give you another attack card to do some extra damage. Last one is a 1-cost skill card. It has Initiation and Exhaust, and you'll see it'll do 1 Cursed Shackle, and if you attack the enemy with Cursed Shackle, you will create another one of this card. So you can kind of cycle the Cursed Shackles, right? Which is pretty interesting. So that is what it is. Not really too sure exactly what it actually means until we test her out, but those are going to be the Epiphanies. So the next one is Tsukiyomi. So the first one at the left, 0 cost. Instead of giving you only 2 Will-O-Wisp for each hit of the next attack card used, it'll give you 3. So that's what the first one does. The second one is going to give you 1 hit to the next attack card of this unit, and you'll get 1 Will-O-Wisp for each attack. So you can basically make your next attack card do more damage if we look at her base kit, so you can make your Moon Slash or even your Shadow of Moon or Oni Hunt do more damage. And because these all hit multiple times, I guess it's except for Shadow of the Moon unless you have the plus version, you are still generating the same amount of Will-O-Wisp, but you're getting a lot more damage out of it. So a little bit more situational, but still pretty powerful. Compared to the first Epiphany, I think it'll generate less for the most part, but you're getting more damage out of it. The third one, this is going to make the next Shadow of the Moon or Shadow of the Moon Plus card, the bind card, do 2 more hits. So nothing about Will-O-Wisp, you're just doing 2 more hits with it. So this is like going to giga buff your damage, right? The fourth one is going to be that you get 3 Will-O-Wisp for each attack card of this unit, Chizuru, in your hand. So basically if you have 2, you get 6, right? So that's actually crazy. And now the fifth one is going to have Unique and Lead, and you're going to get 2 Will-O-Wisp whenever this unit's attack card is used. So those are the Epiphanies for the Tsukiyomi. Which one is going to be best? I mean, I'd be talking out of my ass if I said like this one's going to be the best, but they all seem pretty good. We just have to test them out, right? And figure out certain builds, because saying it before the unit's even released is pretty crazy. So I'm just going to show you guys and keep going what Epiphanies are coming. So you can kind of theory craft for yourself and think about what characters you want to synergize with them. So the Bound at Dusk, all of them is going to keep Initiation and Unique, so you can't actually have more than one. But the first one on the left, it's going to keep the Inhibit, but now it'll decrease the cost of 2 random cards by 1 until used. The second one, at the start of your turn, you still have Inhibit, but now when you use Shadow of the Moon, the next card used will be 1 less. Not really too sure why this would be an upgrade unless I'm missing something, unless you can generate multiple Shadow of the Moons per turn. So if you can, then it'll be very good. The third one is going to be at the start of your turn, you gain Inhibit again, and 2 cards of other combatants aren't reduced, but they're randomly activated. So it activates 2 random cards of other combatants besides Chizuru. So that's pretty cool, and that's at the start of every single turn, which sounds absolutely crazy. The fourth one is at the start of turn, you gain Inhibit, and 2 random lead cards are activated. So if you're using like characters with lead, this can be pretty powerful. And then the fifth one is at the start of your turn, you will gain Inhibit, and the cost of the most expensive card in your hand will cost 2 less. Very interesting. Like I said, no idea which one's going to be best for which build and what characters, but this sounds pretty insane, right? There's a lot of setups you're probably able to do with characters that have very expensive cards because you are very limited in your AP. So next up we have the Oni Hunt. The first Epiphany is going to do 4 hits of 50% damage, and it does 50% extra damage for your next bind card that you use. The second one is going to be 1 hit for 180%. So automatically when you're trying to stack up your buff, it's going to be worse, but it hits for 180%, and then it'll give you 60% extra damage to the next bind card used. The third one is going to be 3 attacks, 60% damage, and then you hit 2 more times, so it goes to 5 hits total if there are no other attack cards in your hand. The fourth one is going to be a skill card. it's going to have haste, and then you'll create 2 moon slashes, and these will have -1 cost to these 2 created ones until they're used. And the last one is going to be plus 40% damage to Shadow of the Moon's damage. And at the start of the turn, you gain 3 Will-O-Wisp, and it is an upgrade. So this is going to give you 3 Will-O-Wisp every single turn, and also increase your Shadow of the Moon's damage. This one sounds pretty good too. Not really too sure which one's the best. If I had to make a guess, I think the upgrade's probably going to be the best, because if you replicate this, right, you're just generating so much Will-O-Wisp. Actually, you can't replicate it because it's unique, so I'm trolling. So they actually thought about that beforehand, but regardless, it sounds pretty strong, right? So, yeah. These are the Epiphanies for Chizuru, guys. Like I said, very sad that they didn't show us it on the English version of the stream, but I will bring it up when I do talk to, not the developers, but like the middle guy, the middleman. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below after seeing this, what team compositions, what strategies, what Epiphanies look super strong. Like I said, for me personally, I don't really like to judge, you know, characters. I do judge characters, but I don't like to say like, this is gonna be the best card, this is gonna be the best build without trying. So I'm just curious what you guys think, so let me know down below, and I'll see you guys next video.